Okay, Katie Nation, I'm kind of like a fangirl right now just because I love this man's music. John B is in the studio with me. Listen, I saw you out there. I rushed over here. Dr. Dre got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, big up
Oh
Dre.
my God.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
man.
Dre.
Congratulations to the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, you know
absolutely.
what? I wanted to ask you because I know that you work with Pac. Did you ever get to work with Dre?
I never got to work with Dre yet. I haven't gotten to work with him.
I love
in
that
the
you said
studio.
yet.
Yeah, yet. Because
Yes.
it's, that we've actually spoken on the phone before, and we both have mutual respect for one another. So there's definitely that curiosity with, like, what would that be like? But I was just in the studio last night with DJ Quick. And I'm always working with Quick. So
what's that like? He's such a genius and he has such an ear.
yeah, I mean, we both love music like that, to the level of like really making the track, finding the right drum sounds, finding the right, and even after you have it all, then mixing it is really the main.
Right.
That's what really makes a hit record stand out, is the way it sonically sounds. You know what I mean? It's got to be right.
Definitely.
And he's definitely an expert at that. He's a
Quick is one of our favorites here.
Yeah.
We've done concerts with him, and he is so he's serious about that sound. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Wherever we're at. Yeah.
He loves it. We'll do shows together. We just did a show not too long ago at the Novo, and I saw him behind the board, the mixing board, mixing my show, just because he wanted my show to sound good.
Damn.
So he would take the time to go back there and adjust the mics, adjust the drums, make it all sound fire. I mean, I'm like, this guy really loves what he does. You know what I mean?
And loves you. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, listen, I want to make sure it's right. Does it trip you out sometimes, though? Because you're John B, but he's also DJ Quick.
It's so important that you go and give the flowers to the people who helped you get to where you're at. You know what I mean? As far as bringing it full circle. If someone influenced you in some way, how beautiful it is to say thank you to them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, and then make that connection like, hey, man, you were my first drums I ever sampled, like from any records back in the 90s when I first started making beats. I was paying attention to you and how you did it, So that kind of inspired me to make the song Don't Talk. Actually, when you hear Don't Talk, it's like got a little DJ Quick vibe. I love bringing it back to, to him in full circle and saying, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know how to make songs like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you think about like, come on, let's get down.
Yes.
That bounce rock skate, that didn't really exist like that until they did that record like that. And that really made me pay attention to that whole pocket, which is the inspiration behind Don't Talk.
Was it, how was that though when you got to see a Quick and you were like, you finally got to give him his flowers and be like, yo.
Yeah. I mean,
I was inspired.
He got it. He got it right away. He's like, well, okay, I hear it right away. That's a no-brainer. And I mean, when the song became a hit, it just was like one of those things, like, he liked it. He dug it, and it was for all the right reasons, because, when you're able to show your influence like that, for me, it was the triangles on the record. Like, that to me was what was sort of like the DJ Quick influence.
Right.
I produced and wrote that record 100% myself, Don't Talk. But it didn't feel right not connecting the dots, what I'm saying, as far as just like being able to say, Quick, man, thank you for making songs like that to inspire me to make this song. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, and I get it. And it does go hand in hand because, to be honest, like, a lot of hip hop heads love your music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that...
Well, I love hip hop, so it's
you could tell.
I've collaborated with like Nas. I've collaborated, not to name drop, but I'm very proud of what I've done, been blessed to be able to do, which is work with my favorite guys,
Yes.
And Nas, I mentioned Nas, but Tupac, I mean, of course, the list is so vast of MCs. I mean, Jay-Z, I've been in the studio, made a record with him.
Okay,
before.
how was that with Jay-Z?
I mean, come on,
the
man.
GOAT.
He's amazing, and I mean, he freestyled the whole thing. I never saw paper. I never saw looking at a phone. He just came in there and he kind of meditated over my beat that I had going. That actually, Coco from SWV was featured on the song as well. It's a song called "Keep It Real." It was on a soundtrack.
Right.
And but yeah. It was just amazing watching him do his thing. He just went straight from outside the booth to just going in the booth and just laying that verse, one take, Jake.
Man. But the fact, I've heard people say that he goes in and he freestyles. I just never spoke to somebody that actually witnessed it.
Yeah. I mean, I was there just like just mouth drop, just like, wow, this is my song. You know what I mean? He said my name.
Right. That's Jay-Z. What? Now, listen, you've got this single, Waiting on You, featuring Tank. Shout out to Tank.
Yeah, big shout out.
And you also have different people on your, different features. You got Rick Ross, Donnell Jones.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I saw the music video. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
Here's the question that we're going to ask. I don't know. We're going to ask on camera. When is the album dropping?
In the spring. In the spring. See, I just got with Quick on this last song that we're wrapping the album. I'm actually done as of last night. I'm done with my album. So that was the last song we had to mix. Get that mix right, you know what I mean? And now it's a wrap. Now
are we doing an album listening party? I'm just asking.
We are doing. Let's go. Cece,
Come on,
let's put it together.
let's go. What?
Put it together.
We're gonna manifest this. I got you, K-Day listeners. We're gonna manifest an album listening party with John B.
Oh, let's go.
I got his word on camera. You know what I'm saying?
You got my word. You got my word. That's what's up.
Let me ask you,
I
love it. I'm always trying to manifest like these movements, especially for your fans. A lot of your fans, have been fans for years. Diehard John B fans. They just want to have a moment with you.
Oh, I love it. I would love it. And I mean, what better way to do it than to show the new music? You know what I mean? Hear it for the first time and in person, be able to shake everybody's hands and thank everybody for being down with me so many years. It's been almost 30 years. I hate to say it, but
that's a blessing though. That's a blessing.
It's an absolute blessing. So, yeah, I mean, when you do it as long as I have done it for, you better love it. Mm-hmm. You better love it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would you continue to do it? You know what I mean? If the love wasn't there, I mean, because my hits, there'll always be hits, and they were hits back then. That's pretty much what people want to hear. But I'm always keeping the faith that I might get another one of those someday. You know what I'm saying? And another record I just put out, might be a hit. So.
Now, your album, Waiting on You, is it going to be? Are we getting this new John B, or is it going to be the classic John B?
This is me.
Okay.
This is me. I'm always doing me. I'm sometimes I go back and I'll repeat themes or, styles that I had with records. I want to go back and kind of do like another They Don't Know or another Are You Still Down kind of.
Yes.
But you don't try to copy it, but you try to put that same soul.
A little bit more of that flavor, yeah.
Yeah, that flavor on the record. And I think that when I do that, it's usually about the emotion I'm putting in the song. It may not be the same beat or may not be the same type of lyrics or whatever, but the emotion that you're going to hear. When you hear Waiting on You, I wrote the song, and it was like, it just came to me one day. I sat down and in one sitting, I wrote from beginning to end that song. So it's like a feeling that I really felt in my heart. And the song is about waiting for love, waiting for love to show up in your life and how it seems like it takes forever sometimes. When it does show up, it's perfect timing.
Exactly. You said it right. It feels like it takes forever, but when it shows up, it's right on time.
It's right on time. And that's what the song said, always on time for me. Your love is, but you got to hear the record though. It's a beautiful thing to be back with new music. I will tell you that.
Let me ask you, you come from a musical family. So did you know that this is what you wanted to do from a very young age?
Yes, absolutely.
Because we did some research on your papa. Shout out to Pops. He was a
yeah.
He worked at
Cal State LA.
Music, yes.
He was a professor of music and taught, commercial music, not commercial music. He basically taught music from like opera and conducting to like violin coaching. I mean, basically everything.
Did Pops coach you?
He didn't really coach me. Because I'm the soul guy. I'm the black sheep of the family. He was in the more classical stuff. But what he did show me early on as an age is at a young age, I got the whole take it seriously. Like, how you have athletic families who the father maybe had played the sports, so his sons and daughters, they're all into sports too. Well, my family was, just like that, but with music. So my dad being the professional musician and teacher of music, he wouldn't let us kind of just halfway play.
Yeah, you
Everybody
don't
had to
half-ass it,
pick
no.
an instrument. We had to learn the instrument with a teacher, And so for me, my mom's a piano teacher, and so she tried to teach me piano, but I would sit down and play by ear, and she'd be sitting there like, "Are you playing that because you memorized it, or are you reading the notes on the thing?"
Right.
I don't really know how to read, Mom. She was just like, "Wow, you have a really good ear." So I started to kind of just write my own music and just play by ear, and that's how I taught myself.
It's in your blood.
Yeah.
At this point, it's in your blood.
Absolutely.
So it's been 10 years since your last album. You just released this single. What made you, after 10 years, want to put out a new album again?
Well, primarily what takes the most time in my time is touring. Touring is really the main, I would say, bread and butter
Absolutely.
in this day and age where there's not a lot of things that are still tangible, where you can pay for something and to get something right there, right? Like CDs back in the day. That was just
I remember getting
such a
CDs
great
and
thing.
reading everything
Man,
from the front to the
I just
back.
miss that. I miss having something I can touch and feel like, turn through the pages, read the lyrics, whatever, the credits on the song, who produced what.
Yes.
It's just, it was a beautiful experience. But I think the only thing that's left like that hasn't changed, but it's still from that time, is me performing for my peoples, like literally looking them in the eye and performing, singing my heart out to you. That's the only thing they can't change. They can't replicate that until there's like one of those like those machines that they the hologram joint.
Oh
until
yeah.
until they come up with those holograms. But I don't even think that can take the place. But I'm so honored every time I have a sold out show. You know what I mean? I'm so honored to be able to continue to do what I love. Now the catch is, how do you balance being on the road with having a family? I got my two daughters, 16 and 10. And
right now, those are very important ages.
Yeah, 17 years of marriage with my wife, to balance all of that with also putting a new album out and not being signed to a label.
How do you balance it?
Yeah, it's an amazing balance because my wife is the manager. So she's my, so we're managing everything in-house and we do everything independently. So I'm the one who's got to do the shows and make the money to go put out the record. You know what I mean?
And wifey's going to make sure everything's on point.
And wifey's taking care of everything. So, and the thing is like, my fans are the reason why I'm able to put this album out. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have the ability to put the album out.
Right.
Because I'm not signed to a major record label that's spending millions of dollars on my behalf. This is me, and the availability of just everyone still being here in my life, man. That's why I really wanted to continue making music and put a new, fresh project out.
What was wifey and kids behind you when you said I'm going to do a new album? Because they're probably like, you're doing touring, you're going out.
Oh, trust me, she's the main one. She's the main one. I mean, she's the reason why I'm putting the album out, actually, in terms of like actually putting it into, like you said, manifesting it.
Yes.
And making sure that it happens, like by putting action behind your ideas. You know what I'm saying? So she's always keeping me active, you know what I mean? So.
And I'm gonna get a little personal because I'm just curious, like, how do you balance being a dad and the kids too? Because the kids are probably like, come spend some time with me.
Yeah, well, you know what? We spend so much time together. I bring them on the road. They get to go to cool states. You know what I mean? They was just in New York not too long ago.
So are they at the age where they're like, my pops is cool?
Yeah, no, I mean, my 16-year-old daughter comes up to me now and she's telling me that her friends are like, she really didn't tell all of her friends right away. She waited like a couple years to become real friends, and then they found out through
social media nowadays is crazy,
But they were like, how come you didn't tell me that your dad's John B? She's like, why does it matter? Well, it doesn't. Well, okay, cool. I'm glad. That's why I didn't tell you.
Exactly.
But at the same time, she's got some good peoples around her, and I'm grateful that my daughter's not the type of daughter to kind of like run with it or feel some type of way like she's any better than anybody else because of it or whatever. I feel like we're really private still, like a regular family.
I love that though. That's important.
I'm not the kind of guy that goes and gushes online about my wife like that. I put all that emotion in my songs. So you already know who my songs are inspired by. You know what I mean? My wife is
all the songs are wifey songs right there, guys. I'm just saying.
They are. I would say she's a primary source. I mean, my fans have a lot to do.
As she should be.
That, you know what I mean? And the fans are there too as well. They're in my mind. I'm always thinking about, especially after I write a hook, like what is going to be the hook that it really kind of says it all for me right now. It says where I'm at in my life, and best represents me as a man, in this time in my life.
Let me ask you,
is that,
when you did Are You Still Down, because you say you go in there and you write the hooks, you and Pac linking up, you're R&B, he's a gangster, you know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah, how did that even freaking happen?
It was something that made sense to us as people, just being fans, mutual fans of each other. So we wanted to see it damn what they say on the side.
I
We
heard
was not
that.
worried. And you know, it's a trip because when I turned the record in, at first it was a little bit of like, wait, how is this gonna work? Just like what you said, like he's, you know, thug life, and you over here R&B, smooth guy,
Yes.
babyface, and all this. And like,
Right.
how's this gonna work? Well, it needs to work. How about that? Let's just do it. Let's put it out. Of course, him dying didn't help the situation in terms of it getting any clearer to the labels. If anything, I think everyone was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the last song he recorded. I was, you know, with him in the studio, recording and writing with him. I mean, this all really was just a huge shock to me. So it was really for about, I want to say about 6 months, almost a year, we had that song in our pocket. And I didn't really want to play it for people because I didn't know how they would feel. Like, you know, like,
Because
okay.
sometimes people are still hurting.
Well, yeah, but like, we're still mourning his passing. I can't believe it. And all of a sudden now the new song is my song that he rapped on. It was a burden to inherit.
That had to be heavy.
And it was, man. It was very heavy. But you know what pushed it into, you know, coming to fruition and actually happening, coming out, being released was Afeni Shakur, his mother.
What?
He never played his music for his mother because of the language and this and that. You know, he didn't want to say, you know, here, check this out, Mom, all the time. But when he did, it was the song Are You Still Down? That was one of the first songs that she's like, my son never played me his music, but he literally came to my house and played me the song, proud of it. Like, listen to this song, Mom. I know you're going to like this song. And because of that, you know, she's like, I knew he wanted that song to be released, so we're going to release that song. So, you know, the red tape that sort of was coming from Death Row, not allowing it to come out right away, she pushed that to the side. She was like, no, I'm making this come out. I'm vouching for my son. And hence the reason why the first Pac album that you heard after his passing was Are You Still Down? It's called Are You Still Down?
Right.
His mom named it that because that was the last song that he wrote. And so, yeah, it's a huge,
That's a trip.
huge honor for me is what it is. It's a badge of honor I wear, you know, so I can't step on a stage and not do Are You Still Down, or come into an interview and not mention writing Are You Still Down with Tupac, you know?
But for you to feel like that's the last song that he recorded,
Yeah.
it was with you. Obviously, you're an artist. You want to put your music out, but you have to respect the mourning process.
Yes.
It's heavy. But Afeni just lifted that burden up.
Yes, she
She
did.
lifted it up and
Rest in power.
gave you the snap. And once she snaps, can't nobody say nothing.
Okay. When it comes from moms, then it's like, hey, that's it. You know, so that's the voice you need to hear. And also for me to feel good about it at that point, it was like sending me off with a blessing. Like, no, you have my blessing. You know, I'm proud to say I smoked a blunt with Afeni Shakur in her kitchen, man, and talked about Pac, you know what I mean? And like the sisters, you know, his sister and his brother, Mopreem, and oh my God, I was just so honored to be welcomed into their house. And, you know, she showed me Tupac's urn to let me know, I don't know what you heard, baby, but all that is rumor. This is my baby right here, you know what I mean? And just like, wow, it was such an emotional thing for me to experience, but it connected me to the essence of the guy that I work with.
Right.
You know, even though I met him and I knew him for a short time and we chopped it up, man, we had the best time in the studio, man.
Was he crazy? Was he crazy, John?
Yeah, he was so fun. He was so charismatic, and just charisma was just like bouncing off the walls. He didn't care, man. He'd take his shirt off and just be, you know what I mean, just shirtless in the studio, and you got all this going on because it being shot, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be like intense, like, you know, the energy was real, like,
dang.
okay, that's the real Tupac sitting in front of me, like in the videos. Like, I'm like, this is, but he was just so down to earth and real. And like, for me, the main part that I remember was him being like, you know, play that right, man. Hold on, no, sing that from your heart. I want you to go back to the top, and I want you to just drop it on him, man. Like, you know, and I was like, all right, cool. So when you hear the record, and I'm like, woo, you know, at the top,
Yeah,
singing, right from the very beginning of the song, I'm giving you that like energy. You know, that's what Pac was bringing out of me, was like producing that energy. And make sure, man, you sing this from your gut, homie. Like, this is not the time to, you know, be neat with it or whatever.
Right.
You know, I just let it out. And there was like, man, 40 people from Death Row all up in there. And every time somebody come in the room, Pac would be like, you know who that is? Who's that? That's John B up in there, man. You know, he's bigging me up. I'm like, what? Like, who does this?
Tupac?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean, so to say I miss him is an understatement. But every time I remind myself of what it was to work with him, I don't need to miss him anymore because he's in my spirit. You know,
No,
for
I love
life,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful. I love Tupac.
Yeah,
I
too,
really
man.
do. You know, we share the same birthday. I'm June 16th.
Wow.
He's June 16th.
That's what's
Geminis.
up. Yeah.
I really, and I watch everything. I've never been privileged. I was never privileged to meet him, but I'm so fascinated with people that are, because I don't get that privilege, but you had it. So I want to ask so that way I can experience some of it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely.
And it's beautiful
and it's
to
a pleasure
pass
to
on.
talk about. It's a pleasure for me to talk about because it's, like I said, I wear that experience like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
definitely.
When he went in there, did he go in and he laid his verse, or did he have to do it a couple times?
Nah, he laid his verse. That was it.
done.
And it
Yes.
was crazy because Tupac had the type of voice where he could double himself and make it sound like one voice. Because it would be so exactly the same. It'd be a Xerox copy of what he just did. Wow. And that's what he does. He'll go in and do his verse first where he just laid all the lyrics down. And then he'll go in and do what's called the ad-lib, which is basically him backing himself up with emphasis and just doubling certain words and certain sentences and stuff like that. So he did all that. But then the magic was when he was producing me. And see, I didn't know Tupac could sing a little bit. He was like, girl, it's all right, baby. And I was like, oh, like that, Pac? Like, okay, like, is that how I'm supposed to sing it? I would change it up and be like, girl, it's all right, baby. He's like, no, I need to be, girl, it's all right, baby. You know, he put that thing on it. And I was like, all right.
He
like
put the
that.
sauce.
Yeah, okay, like that, right? So that's what I remember is
I love
just
that.
going back and forth and
working with
cheering
just
me on.
amazing people like Pac. Now you got this album, Rick Ross, Donnell Jones.
Yeah, Alex Isley's on the album as well. Yeah, a beautiful voice she has, you know, and she's R&B royalty already, just her lineage. And Ernie Isley from the Isley Brothers is her father, and I'm a huge Isley Brothers fan, so I was already curious as to what she would sound like, you know, collaborating with. And she's so lovely. She came in the studio, she heard the song, she didn't want to change nothing. I was like, I'm open. Like, whatever you want to do. If you want to rewrite the whole thing, you can. You know, she's like, no, I love it. I want to sing it just like you did it. And she literally just laced it. And it's such a beautiful song. Donnell Jones, man. I mean,
I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about that one.
Yo,
I'm excited. I'm
right
excited about you and Donnell Jones teaming up.
We actually released the song some years ago, right before COVID. I put the song out. And that was really when I wanted to put an album out. That was the last time I was planning on putting the album out. But then COVID came and shut everything down for 2 years. And I kind of had to go back to the essence of like what everybody knows me for, which is playing my old songs out live. And I was just so happy when everything opened back up and we could get back into the swing of things. And that's really when
But were you still writing? Because I have a feeling you were still writing all the time, no matter what.
Well, that's when I wrote "Waiting on You." Was over that time period of being home. I mean, and then getting to build with Tank at R&B Money podcast with him and chopping it up. And I played it for him, and I said, "This has got a vibe that's influenced by you, man." I want to say, like, melodically, I was really kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like you would vibe this song, man. And so I hope you like it. But let me play it for you. He was like, yo, that's another They Don't Know. That's what he said to me. He said, that's another They Don't Know. And I was like, okay, that's what's up. And he's just like, no, but I got to be on that. I want to sing on it. And I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Because I wanted to ask him to be on the
But you
song,
didn't want to really ask
I didn't
him, yes.
I didn't want him to feel obligated or feel like, oh, I don't really want to, so I don't want to let you down, as your homie. But he wanted to do that record. And, I mean, he came to the studio and
that's dope, man.
He didn't want to change nothing. All he wanted to do was add a bridge, and he killed the bridge. I mean, he just took the song and just elevated it, and then he started playing piano to it in my hallway, and I said, that's got to go on the record. Put that down right now. And so I put a piano sound up for him, and he started playing it. I got it all. I'm gonna put together like an EPK showing like the making of this album.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Yes,
different.
absolutely.
You know, I haven't done that before, so this is going to be something special that we have. Plus, we have a lot of visuals for this album too. We have like 6 videos.
Which is different from back then. Now we got visuals. Now we have social media. You can reach.
Yeah,
you can touch a little bit.
I love that. I love the interaction I have with my fans over social media. You know, every tweet, every Instagram, every Facebook post, every TikTok. I mean, it's all a way to interact together. And back in the 90s, we didn't have that. You know
No,
I mean?
we didn't.
We didn't have that.
We had a little bit more privacy, but we didn't have that.
That's right.
Let me ask you, there's been a lot of talk about the king of R&B. Who do you think is the king of R&B?
Wow, I think right now I got to give it to my boy Tank.
Okay.
Only because, I mean, you have to write your own and produce your own for me to call you the king. Like Babyface, for me, would be a king in R&B. You know what I mean? Because he's written half of R&B's hits. First of all, you know, every hit you ever knew from any artist, he probably wrote it. But let alone, you know, he's self-contained. So I wanted to follow in those footsteps of being a self-contained artist and write my songs, produce my beats, you know, sing my songs, you know.
John B's Mount Rushmore of R&B singers.
Oh, wow. Marvin Gaye.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, he's probably the first face I'd put up there. I say Luther Vandross. You know, for me, I'm a huge Luther fan. And that's like, you know, he's probably on the opposite side because his voice sounds so different from Marvin. Michael Jackson. I got to give Michael his flowers just because without Michael, I wouldn't have rhythm. I wouldn't have that sense of how to sing the song with some pocket. Like make the song dance. That's what Michael Jackson taught me. Stevie Wonder. You got to put Stevie Wonder up. What is there, 4 faces in it?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
So it's Stevie Wonder. He's up there. And then, you know, it would be wrong if I didn't put Babyface up on the rock as well. He's part of my foundation. Yeah. So, yeah.
I love Babyface. You know what I'm saying? He's timeless.
Well, he was the one who got my start. You know, he gave me my start. His wife and him, Tracy Edmonds at the time, they were married back then, and they formed the Edmonds Record Group, and that was the first label that I signed to. And we had co-ownership with Epic, Sony Epic, so I had all the push from the major and all that going as well. So we had everything that an R&B guy like me could dream of with the collaboration with Babyface being in the studio. I was able to work with Tony Braxton. I
love Tony Braxton.
Write a song for Tony Braxton. It's a song called "In the Late of Night," actually, that we co-wrote together. It's on the album. It's on the Secrets album.
Okay.
It's just sold millions and millions of albums. I produced some songs for After 7. His brothers. You know, After 7 is. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah. I'm digging on you, you digging on me. Come on.
Ready or not, all that.
We gotta do it. Yes.
So, yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I you know, just getting to work with like New Edition. I worked with New Edition early on. I mean, I just wanted to work with my heroes, my guys that I loved, and you know.
And it's safe to say you did.
Yes,
and
I
you
did.
still are. You know, I'm gonna ask you, and I'm put you on the spot only because. Obviously, this month is Women's History Month. Shout out to all the ladies doing it. Top 3 women singers.
Ooh.
We got to do it for Women's Month. We have to.
I love this question. Yeah, absolutely. Jasmine Sullivan. You know, I got to put Tina Marie up there. You know what I'm saying?
Lady T. Yes.
Lady T. Let me think. Wow. What a beautiful question, because there's so many beautiful. I mean, Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying, of course. Shoot, man. I mean, for me,
that was a list. Yeah.
Low key though, I'm a huge fan of Sade.
I love Sade. I saw her at the Universal Amphitheater. She killed it.
Sade fan.
Yes.
Like I love Sade. So yeah, then who else, man?
Because I'm gonna be honest, mine's is Tina Marie.
Yeah, well, who's yours? Yeah.
Anita Baker.
Oh, there you
I
go.
gotta say Anita Baker. Shaka Khan. Yeah. I love Shaka.
Shaka would be on my list. That's my girl.
I love Shaka, right, but I'm telling you, I waited in line at the House of Blues to see Tina Marie. I waited.
Did you see her?
Yeah, I saw her, but I got there super early. I was like young. I got there super early.
She's from Pasadena. She's from my hometown.
I had a pen and a paper, and I was like, "I'm here early. Can you sign?" And she said, "Now, baby, if I sign that paper,
sounds just like that too.
I'm gonna have to sign everybody's paper." And I was like, "But they wasn't here early like me."
Aww.
Yeah, but it was okay though. It was okay. I saw her perform, and I grew up on Tina Marie.
Yeah,
So Tina is my ultimate, and Anita Baker.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that you said that.
Tina's, she's like what I aspire to do. As far as how she did it and allowed her music to be what people judged her for, not her outer appearance. She was the first of her kind. And I think really until somebody steps up and shows them kind of pipes like that and writes those types of records, I think she's the only one of her kind. Really.
No, I will say that.
So yeah, but I love to follow in her footsteps though as a male. In terms of,
you
know what I mean, being that type of an artist, whether you're a female or a male, just having that soul that she has.
I think Tina had that respect from everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. All, color, sizes, races, everybody just loved Tina because she could sing.
That's right.
It was just about the vocals. Now, you are going to be at 9:30 LA, March 23rd, 9 p.m., guys. Go see him. Shout out to PJ Butter. What up,
Big
Butter?
Shout.
So you're going to
shout,
be performing.
PJ.
We gave away tickets. People went crazy for it.
Oh, man.
Yes, we gave away tickets. So that's why I got to shout it out because our listeners are going to be there. They're going to be going crazy.
Well, listen, we're going to do the new song, Waiting on You. So, that's going to be cool. Singing that song is not easy. I didn't make it easy for myself. That's a song where it's like probably the most challenging song I've written yet for myself. So it's definitely not the song you want to sing like for the morning crew in the morning, like at 7 in the morning. I've had to do it so far. I've had to do that. And I was in New York doing Sirius Radio and like doing like early, and they're 3 hours ahead. So I'm singing at like 4 in the morning or
You're
something.
Like I need some
that.
tea.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best singing the new record and it's, of course all the songs that you know and love through the years.
That's what I love. Before you leave, let me ask you, what was your biggest moment in the entertainment industry, period, whether it's behind the scenes, in front of the camera? Your biggest moment, John B's.
Really, I think the biggest moment was coming out with the song Someone to Love for the very first time, with Babyface as a duet. I've never heard a song, I've never heard of an artist be released where the mentor is on the record with the artist. Usually the artist comes out and sings a song first and then you know who that person is and then you jump on a record together or something like that. But this was something that it just felt so out of place for me. I was like so honored to do it.
Were you nervous?
I was like, how is this gonna go off? Like, are people gonna only compare me to him because it's his song, and are people gonna be able to tell the voices is different and all that? Because I really wanted to show my influence that he had on that song. I wanted to say, say it like he would say it.
Right.
And so like that song was a really, really cool experience from the very beginning. We were on Jay Leno with that. And that was the last time I was on the Jay Leno show. that was the only time. And it's cool to look back, and see myself at 21 or 20, however I was, however old I was, and just think, man, those were humble times, and what a great way to start all this.
Right. Listen, I'm telling you, I was there back in the day. We would have something called Sam Goody, and I would go buy the CD. And I remember being in line to buy the CD.
Plus,
yes,
Warehouse,
the Warehouse,
Tower Records.
Absolutely. Y'all remember that?
On, man.
Yes.
I miss vinyl and I miss CDs. I miss cassettes. Shoot, man. Yeah, I miss a 8-track tape. I don't care. Like,
those days were good.
I love having something tangible that you could. Don't get me wrong though. It is pretty easy to just go and just get the song right now offline.
But it's different feeling when you get to open and you get to read and really see who's on the credits and things like that. But listen, I'm so excited for you to be here.
Thank you. I'm
waiting
so
on you.
Here.
The album's gonna drop this spring.
I'm excited
He said
to be back, yo. I'm not gonna lie. Like I am excited to be back with this song, and to have Tank feature on here with me. That's what's up, man. I mean, this is kind of like Someone to Love Part 2 in terms of like two artists being on the same record. For me, it was a huge honor to have him.
And to be honest with you, John B., it's a blessing to be back with something you love and to be embraced.
That's right.
Automatically, without question.
And when you already have admiration for like what's happening in R&B, you know, that's why I gotta give Tank his flowers in terms of, like you said, who's the king right now. There's nobody writing songs and producing songs themselves and singing them themselves like he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I gotta give him his props. But I really, that's the type of artist I am. I'm 100%er is what we call ourselves. You know?
Yes.
We could write a song 100% from beginning to end. And so we gotta stick together, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And we're gonna manifest this album listening party. Like he already said it. We got it. There it is, John B in the studio. I appreciate you. And we will be at the concert.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, CC.
I got you.
Everybody out there, man, I need your support on this one. We back now. 10 years, that's too long. No more waiting, baby. We've been waiting on you. So here it is, man. This is it.